Hi and welcome to Best in Tesla. I don't think people really got how big of a deal Battery Day was, because to me this was a game changer. The game is over. The ICE cars is a dying breed. So let me try to explain why this was such a big deal and why Battery Day was not just a leap forward but a game over moment. Tesla just made such a big leap that no one will ever be able to catch up. The competition is coming. Sure, but they can't scale up fast enough, so it doesn't really matter. Let me tell you why, and let's dive right in.
Let's put our living stereo stylus in this groove.
Hope you have seen Battery Day by now and have seen all the new good stuff Tesla was able to do. Because all this makes the manufacturing of the battery faster to produce with this new 4680 cell than the 2170 cell. A factory that could produce 36 gigawatt hours of battery production will suddenly be able to produce about 250 gigawatt hours. Like the Nevada factory that do 35 gigawatt hours of production, but that factory is only 30% done, and Elon did show us they will be able to make 1 terawatt hour of production at Nevada factory instead of the 150 gigawatt they thought in the beginning. So the other guys will make big huge factories that can only produce about 30 gigawatt hours, just like GM and LG Chem in 2023. Yeah, but Tesla will build factories that can make 1 terawatt. And Tesla's factory will be almost 70% cheaper per gigawatt to build. And the batteries that is coming out of these factories in compared to LG Chem's will also be over 50% cheaper. Sandy Munro just said that they know pretty accurate what the price of the Tesla battery is, and he did say that Tesla is about $108 per kilowatt hour now. So that will mean they will get down to about $47.52 per kilowatt hour, but have over 50% more range. Because this is one thing you have to remember. When someone comes out with new battery technology they have made in the lab, the new technology will most of the time be more expensive because they can still not mass produce it, and it's a brand new technology. So people are still screaming about the solid state battery will come in and make Tesla's battery obsolete. Sure, but that is still just something that's in the lab. This is still years away from mass production, and then they will still have to make it very easy to mass produce to beat Tesla's new battery. It took like 30 years for lithium-ion batteries to be good enough to get into cars, and at that point they were still very expensive. It will definitely go faster with new technology today, but it will still take a long time. So this is why it is so exciting, because they came out with a brand new technology, but it was both much better than the old battery technology, but also cheaper to produce and can be produced about 20 times faster. Boom! Mind-blowing. So this battery Tesla just revealed might even beat solid-state battery. Because if you make a solid-state battery that, let's say, it has 5 times more range and can charge 5 times quicker than today, like the headlines we have seen before, like this new technology is gonna make your car go 2,000 kilometers on one charge. But if this battery is going to be 5 times more expensive, it doesn't really matter. No one will ever buy this car. And if the new battery technology cannot be mass produced like Tesla's, it doesn't really matter, because Tesla made a battery cheaper and can scale up to mass, like mass production, and still made it go 54% longer. I know many was hoping for a solid-state battery, but I actually think that Tesla just might have made something that just beat solid state because they can mass produce this one in the terawatts and do it cheaply and even made it much better. So Tesla will be able to make this $25,000 car in a couple of years with this better battery technology than anyone else. This should scare the old manufacturer, because lowering the price of a car with $5,000 will double the amount of people that can afford it, and Tesla will lower their lowest price with $10,000. This will make Tesla explode in the amount of people that they can suddenly reach. And you have to remember that all the other manufacturers can still not make an electric car profitable. So they can't just lower the price, and this is probably why the long-range ID3 cost almost as much as a Model 3. And their battery will be more expensive, and they are not working on a giga casting machine where Tesla will also save like 40% on the rear end underbody and on the front end and on the middle piece as well. And remember that even Volkswagen, that is actually trying to push hard to go electric, only have a plan to be at 40% electric by 2030, when Tesla will have over 3 terawatt-hour of battery production. At least. And just think about what will be out in 10 years' time. Who would buy an ICE car in 2030? No one I know anyway. They're all thinking about it now, saying their next car is going to be electric because they are already much better cars. They are much easier to own because you don't really have to do much. No oil change, no service check, and much cheaper to fill up already today. Just imagine what this will be like in 2030. No one will want an ICE car. ICE car is going to be the niche product in 2030. Not like 60% of the car manufacturers sell like Volkswagen think they will be able to sell. Not happening. I just don't see it happening. So the old manufacturers will not have their big cash cow in 2030, or at least not as much as they think they will. BMW think they will make a lot of ICE cars for the next 30 years. California just said they will not allow ICE cars to be sold in 2035 anymore. And so are a lot of other countries and cities around the world. It will be socially unacceptable in 2030 to buy a dirty ICE car, because you will have a choice not to. So why would you? And no one will be able to keep up with Tesla. Tesla will be the biggest car manufacturer in 2030, no doubt, because the other guys can't keep up. Tesla is pressing the accelerator and no one is keeping up. This will give Tesla all the space in the EV market they need. They will only be limited on how fast they will be able to grow. And they are growing fast. And no one will just be able to copy this, because Tesla is so integrated. It's even now into mining, has their own alloy, and of course have patent on all this new technology. So they will not just be able to tear down a car and then make a copy cheaper. And Tesla is now profitable, and this will only accelerate as all their businesses really start to take off. And they have $13 billion in the bank. So for a company like Tesla that has been struggling financially for the last 10 years, but still being able to grow with 50% year over year, to suddenly have all the money they will need. What will this do to their growth? I don't think that the 50% growth year over year is unrealistic to continue. I think this is very possible. And people have been talking about, Tesla has $10 billion in debt, are now only living on government incentives and so on. But that is just not true. And $10 billion in debt are only like 2 to 3% of their value market cap. So they could easily pay this debt off if they needed to, but they really don't. But companies like GM and Ford have combined over $300 billion in debt. That is over 5 times their combined market value. GM only made about $14 billion in gross profit last year. They can't get out of this debt. And they have to make this big, very expensive switch over to EV, and don't really seem to be able to do it fast enough to be able to survive this switch. or they really have to pull out some kind of miracle. And I think GM maybe was hoping that Nikola could give them this miracle. But I kind of think that one backfired. They are in big trouble, if you ask me. Not Tesla, they're doing just fine. It is not them you have to worry about. GM and Ford have an unbelievable mountain of debt they can't really get out of. Tesla did make a loan from the government, but they did actually pay that one back with interest. And if you live in the US, you actually made money on Tesla's loan from the government. But you are not gonna earn anything on GM and Ford's debt because they will not be able to pay that back. You'll be helping GM and Ford to pay that debt with your tax money. So no, don't you worry about Tesla. They will be just fine. And they just showed us all the way with Battery Day how they will be able to be the biggest car manufacturer in the world. Worry about the old guys. And another thing they did not talk about is that this new battery will be able to charge much faster. Tesla has to be careful about the Osborne effect as well, so they can't just show that they will come out with a car in a couple of years that will be so much better in every way, so no one will buy their car they have right now. But they did show that the battery will have 6 times more power output. So will this not mean that the battery will also be able to take in 6 times more power? And especially when the battery is not having the same problem with battery overheating because of this new tabless design. So what does this mean? If there's anyone out there that knows how this works, please let me know, because I did make a video about the 1600 kilowatt charging, but that was kind of a moonshot video. But does this battery actually make this possible? Or what is holding it back, if anything? And if anyone out there knows, please let me know, because I don't know how this works. What will put the brake on this, if any? It will definitely be able to charge faster. The question is just how much faster will it be able to charge? Is like 1000 kilowatt not suddenly possible? That is only 4 times faster than today. Or am I missing something? Elon did say that 300 kilowatt hour was a children's toy, so we can expect something much better. But is it 6 times better, or is it just 4 times better? Or let me know. Anyone knows about this stuff, please leave a comments down below. And the battery will of course be able to last much longer, because the heat is one of the many things that is making the battery degrade faster, and this battery will not have this problem. And the range is over 50% longer, so the 1 million mile battery everyone was hoping for is not even close. It will probably last between 1.5 to 2.8 million miles, and that is what we need for the semi-truck and full self-driving taxi and so on. So they did not talk about it at the event, but they don't just have a 1 million mile battery, they have like a 2 million mile battery. So to sum it up a bit, Tesla will be able to scale production many times faster than anyone else, but at the same time have a battery that is many times better than anyone else. But it's also half the price. And that's just the battery. They're also improving on the build quality many times year over year, and improving the manufacturing of the car itself to be many times cheaper and faster to produce. And Elon did just confirm that Gigafactory Shanghai will be able to produce about 1 million cars when it is all done. And we do know that Giga Berlin will be about twice the size, producing about 2 million cars. And Giga Texas should not be smaller than the 2 others. And all these 3 factories are being built now. And all of these factories are going to be bigger in production volume than even the biggest car factory today. That is the Volkswagen's Wolfsburg factory. That can only produce 750,000 ICE cars. Tesla is right now building 3 factories that are all going to be bigger than that. Just mind-blowing. And what are the other guys doing? They are trying to bluff their way through this game. But in the end, they have to lay down their cards and show their hand. This is not a game of poker. You can't fake it, you have to make it. because everyone is still screaming about the competition is coming. Sure, there is competition on the road today, and they are selling really well. Great. But they will not be able to mass produce these things. So it doesn't really matter. They don't have the batteries to deliver as many EVs as Tesla does. Even today, no one other than Tesla could deliver 500,000 electric vehicles in 2020. Not Volkswagen, not GM, not Ford, not Kia, not Hyundai. No one could deliver 500,000 EVs this year, even if they were ready with the cars, because they don't have the batteries. Or next year for that matter. GM will be ready in 2023 with their 30 gigawatt hour battery plant with LG Chem. That is only good for about 400,000 cars. So that is not even enough to beat Tesla's production of 2020. And the batteries that are coming out of these factories is more expensive and have less range. And Tesla will be able to produce probably somewhere between 2.5 to 3 million cars in 2023. Remember, they said they will have about 100 gigawatt hours of their own new battery ready in 2022. And they will still have all the other battery suppliers as well. So sure, competition is here and it's good and they're doing well, but they will never be able to scale up production like Tesla does. So sure, it's competition in a way, but it's not going to hurt Tesla. They just can't produce enough EVs to be a threat. But we have of course seen miracles before, but I don't think we will see anyone catch up with Tesla's battery technology, because as Sandy Munro said, no one is moving as fast as Tesla, and Tesla has a big lead and just made an even bigger leap forward. It is going to be impossible to catch up. So Panasonic, CATL and LG Chem could not scale up production as fast as Tesla wanted to and knew it was necessary for the car industry to go electric. So Tesla made their own batteries that are better than all the other guys that has been doing this for decades and can produce it 20 times faster. This is just like what Tesla did with the full self-driving chip. Nvidia could not make something that was good enough for Tesla, so they hired Apple's best chip designer, and 3 years later Tesla has the best full self-driving computer chip in the world. The other guys don't even understand what hit them. These two technologies, the full self-driving chip and batteries, will in the future be trillion-dollar businesses. So good luck to everyone else. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps this video out a lot. And if you did like it, maybe you want to hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos just like this one. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for your support, and if you want to support me even more, remember you can for as little as $1 become a patron of the show and get your shout out here on this channel. All the names you see floating by right now are my amazing Patreon producers of the show. You can go to patreon.com/BestInTESLA and see all the perks in there and choose your level of support and get your name on this list. And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.